What up, what up, what up? So I'm gonna start off getting right into it, and I'm gonna tell you up front, the audio is gonna be terrible. So if you can hear me clearly, good and great. If not, I'm terribly sorry. But I wanted to make a follow-up video for you watching this that's suffering with back pain right now running down your leg. My name is Alex Tullos, and for the better part of the entire year of 2021, I spent on the floor on concrete as much as I could to try to get rid of the nerve pain that I'm sure you're too experiencing going down the leg. So I want to talk to you about my injury. I've actually got an MRI I'm going to show you. And then I want to talk about your injury and the things that I did prior to having surgery. If you're watching this video, then you've already seen the title of having a successful microdiscectomy in October of 2021. Today's date, by the way, I'm in June 2022, so it's been now almost 7 months, 10 months maybe. Prior to me, I guess 8 months, right, since my actual surgery date. And I can't tell you how dramatically changing it's been for my particular injury. So let's kind of talk about it. Let's jump right again into it and show you. I want to show you my injury. I had an L5-S1 disc herniation. So as you can see here, if you haven't gotten an MRI, do not get an X-ray because that'll never find out anything. Get an MRI instead of an X-ray. That's the number one piece of advice because that'll literally tell you where your injury is at and if it's a disc herniation or what the injury is specifically. So that's my first advice, is to get an MRI because that's going to show you the most clear picture, again, as to specifically where and what is going on with your back. As we all know, I mean, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you know too that we all have these discs that go down our vertebrae, and if we have any disc herniations, which is that material that sits inside of this little disc space that gets pushed out mostly to the back, that's what the most common area is out that backside. That'll give you leg pain, and nerve pain is really what this injury is, right? If you're watching this, it's not like you say it's your back, but it's really your leg. It's your like hamstring, or it's your glute, or it's your calf. And if you have it really bad, there's a good chance you have it in your feet or your heel, right? And you can't even walk around, which is like me. I couldn't really take care of myself. So life was basically postponed, again, for the entire year. So I wanna go over now like what I did during that time that I found the most alleviation, and what you can do either before you have surgery or what you can expect after surgery. And so let's start off with the first part, what I did prior to. Like you, maybe, I tried everything from acupuncture, chiropractor, massage therapy. I mean, I tried physical therapy. I mean, if there was something on the spiritual side of things that could have been done, I tried. I couldn't make the miracle happen. I couldn't. It was maybe a mental block that I had or whatever the reasoning was. I just could not get past the injury. And so, you know, I tried everything, every part in the book, you know, I went for prior to surgery. I even told myself that I'm not gonna have surgery, is how adamant I was about not having surgery. But it just came to a point where like every single day I'm taking ibuprofen to the tune of, you know, 2 dosage, 4 tablets twice a day for the period of 6 months straight, with a mixture of Tylenol to the tune of, you know, 2,000, 3,000 milligrams per day, every day, just to get out of bed. I mean, I'm sure, you know, again, if you're watching this, you're probably experiencing that type of pain, and I'm here to tell you, man, you're not alone. Woman, you're not alone. You are not alone in this world, and it's one of, you know, the more debilitating injuries maybe, especially if you've never had any sort of injury like this. To go from a normal lifestyle to now you can't even really go to the grocery store. You have a hard time sneezing, going to the restroom, cooking for yourself, cleaning up, you know, your area, bending down to put on your shoes and socks, sitting at restaurants. I mean, all that is stripped away from you right now. So I want to be the person that you can go to personally and ask as many questions to, comment as many comments on, and I'm going to do my best every single day, every single week to check those and get back to you. So if you haven't seen the previous video, I made another video talking about it. But I think, and I'm going to show you some live examples right now actually, of what I've done post-surgery and pre-surgery that have helped me the most in terms of the alleviation of the pain, outside of the anti-inflammatories and outside of the painkillers, of course. And that's gonna be the prone press-ups. And it's the one where you're basically on your elbows and you're either, depending on your severity of your injury, pressing up to where you're, kind of arching your back. I'm gonna show you right now, actually. Okay, you know, the other thing I forgot to mention was ice packs. It's probably, if you're experiencing pain, one of the love-hate feelings about the back injury, because nothing like a cold, hard ice pack. Okay, so these are prone press-ups. So what I would do, depending on your severity of your injury, I'd get on my elbows, and obviously the pain was so bad at some points where you have so much inflammation that you really can't even do like any sort of pressing because of the inflammation. So it's not that I condone taking anti-inflammatories. I'd rather you do ice, just talking about ice. But you know, obviously one of the sources of your pain is because the inflammation is building up and irritating that nerve even more in conjunction with it being compressed from the actual disc herniation. So if you can calm that inflammation down temporarily by anti-inflammatory or ice, or just laying on the concrete floor until your back pain starts to go away on a cold, hard floor, then you'll have a more range of motion. You get more out of this exercise, I think, and the pain will be less when you do it because that inflammation is not there. So again, start from the elbows here, right? And then kind of just pressing up and out and up, right? Kind of just press it up. So depending on your injury level, I mean, you'll kind of be able to dictate on your own how much and how high you can kind of press up. Obviously, the more severe injury, you know, be careful. And once you start really getting that, you know, as they say in the gym, mind-muscle connection with your body, you can even start to lift your legs off the ground, which would probably be impossible maybe for you in the beginning, but you can work up to that. So I typically recommend doing this every day prior to, if you decide to have surgery, to try to see if you can push any of that disc herniation back in. You know, you can decide that for yourself if you believe that to be possible or not. It doesn't hurt to try, but you know, be very careful, right? So, you know, like I said, lifting the feet off the ground a little bit to where you're kind of even doing some of that pushing of the disc back into, you know, where it's supposed to be. And then also pressing up at the same time. And then obviously if you're more of the sort of advanced, I don't want to say advanced, but if you have like even less back pain, then you could start knees about in line with the shoulders, and then literally just come all the way down and just hold as best you can. And then the less pain you have, again, the more you can give into your weight there. But that's gonna be kind of at your comfort level. So that's my best advice for both pre-surgery and post-surgery. Obviously, if you're just having the surgery now let me speak to you. So I hope I was able to provide you some value. If you haven't had surgery, again, ice, less ibuprofen if you can, because it's not good for your liver. And then obviously the Tylenol, kind of the must-dos. But the important thing to note for you, whether you had surgery or not, is you'll get over this injury, I promise you. It's just gonna take time, and it's gonna suck, and you're gonna be in this chapter of your life for the next X amount of time. For some of you, it could have been 3 years. For some of you, like me, it could have been 1 year. But at some point in your life, you'll get past this and look back and never look back. Or you'll, you know what I mean? So now speaking to you watching this, if you're worried, if you have pain right now and you just had surgery, like you literally had the microdiscectomy on whatever nerve root you had it on, doesn't matter if it was L4, L5, L5, S1 like it was for me, then I'm telling you, for that first 30 to 60 days, you'll probably be worried thinking that this surgery was not a success. Now, I had that same experience. I came home, I was, you know, like you probably, couldn't really walk, super stiff, felt like a zombie walking around, bandaged up in my lower back with a scar about that big, straight up and down scar. And, you know, I was like that for like 2 weeks where, you know, I definitely had to have someone there with me, helping me in case I needed to like get up for the first maybe 2 days, you know, bring me things like water, you know, things like that, and just make life easier. But anyways, you know, after about the 60-day mark, the 90-day mark is when my pain started to go away. I did have that tingly sensation running down the back of my leg for the period of the first 60 days or so. And then I was a very ambitious person, you know, so probably against the grain and against the doctor recommendation, I started to go to the gym, and I didn't try to put any weight, on the vertebrae like that, but I would try to work out literally doing things like this, like where I'm laying down on the floor doing bicep curls and stuff. Because I was just so, I'd been out of the gym for 9 months and I just wanted to get in there so bad. And so, those are things that I did. But around the 3-month mark is when finally I'm like, okay, I can go hike, like walk. Like that was a privilege. Talk about gratitude. And then one of my favorite parts, sitting down in a restaurant with your friends. Geez, I missed that. Wasn't able to do that for almost a year. So was able to do all that stuff by month 3. Month four, I'm hiking in Hawaii. So keep this in mind. October 5th, surgery. January 16th, however time frame that is, I'm in Hawaii climbing, if you've seen it, 3 peaks, Olamana Trail, whatever it is, up the most jagged hike that I've personally ever done, 3 months after surgery. My life has done a complete 180. I have friends of mine, they're like, I don't even remember this version of you, because I just remember me having to come over to your place and you being like on the floor. So my surgery was a success, and if you just had the surgery and you're worried if it was a success, God's time. Pray, believe, know that you're gonna get better, and you will, because you will. So I'm here for you suffering with back pain, because I know what it felt like, and so many of you watching know exactly what it feels like to feel alone. So I'm here for you in the comment section. Anything, just type away. I'll be able to respond in any way that I can, as fast as I can. And I'm even happy to jump on calls with people. Like, I was considering, when people were making comments on my last video, to like, hey, if you want to jump on a call, like, let's put a plan together in place to get you improved, whether you want to have surgery or you don't want to have surgery. Like, let's put something together for you to help fix and solve this chapter of your life. So anyways, God bless. I love you. We'll see you guys soon. And, have a wonderful day as best you can. Bye.